allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Ziegler,
Here.
Mr. Fenstermaker,
Here.
Mr. Hamer, Mr. Lowry, Mr. Rupel,
Here.
Mr. Scholes, Mr. Smolik,
Here.
All right, thank you. So I guess we'll open up with our organizational meeting. And I'm just going to read through each of the resolutions here. Resolution number 22-R-73, resolution recording the election of the president of council for the term ending November 30th, 2023, declaring an emergency. Resolution number 22-R-74, resolution recording the election of the council president pro temp for the term ending November 30th, 2023, declaring an emergency. Resolution number 22-R-75, resolution appointing Denise Rowley as clerk of council and establishing wage and duties and declaring an emergency. Resolution number 22-R-76, resolution relating to establishing rules, time, and place of council meetings for the period from December 1st, 2022 through November 30th, 2023, and declaring an emergency. And in light of the fact we have 4 members, I'm looking for a motion to table or continue. Continue the organizational meeting until the next meeting, which is scheduled for Monday, December 19th at 7 p.m.
I second that.
AD. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You go ahead and make the motion, I'll second.
All right, so Mr. Ziegler made motion, seconded by Mr. Smolik. Can we call the roll, please?
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker,
Yes.
Mr. Rupel,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Motion to approve and adopt.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Smolik, seconded by Councilman Fenstermaker. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker,
Yes.
Mr. Rupel,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the minutes of the November 21st, 2022 council meeting. Looking for a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Smolik, seconded by Councilman Ziegler. Any discussion? Hearing none, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker,
Yes.
Mr. Rupel,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
All right, thank you. Moving on to department reports, I guess we're going to move up to Mr. Fernaro.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to be brief. I just want to take a minute to thank the Garden Club for decorating City Hall. Also, they came to the Public Works Yard and made 45 swags, which was pretty impressive to see how they worked together a couple days and put everything together. And lastly, I'd like to thank our team. They did a great job on the lights in the cold, in the snow, and I think they did a really good job. That completes my report.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you. Mr. Courtney.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Quick report tonight. 2022 streets. Joe and I conducted a walkthrough on all the streets on Friday. Generated a deficiency list. Fairly minor deficiencies, but deficiencies nonetheless. Punch list was sent to the contractor today. So I'll wait to hear back from them when they'll be able to get to some of that stuff. It might be spring. Some of the stuff is weather dependent. Old Town sewer improvements. The county set the bidding schedule for phase 1 of the project. The project will advertise on December 9th and a bid opening on Wednesday, January 18th. Stormwater projects, no update on Fox Hill. Rockwood area stormwater basin, funds from Lake County Stormwater Management Department were received last week, I think? 2 weeks ago, last week. So we're moving forward on the design on that. Parkwood area drainage improvements. We received the concept plan from Davy Resource Group with a cost estimate. Joe and I reviewed that concept plan, had some questions and comments, so I sent those back to Davy today, and we'll report when we hear back. That concludes my report. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot to thank the Kiwanis. They also let us use 3 of their Ericsson boxes to plug all our cords in. So I want to say thank you to the Kiwanis also.
All right, thank you. Mr. Slepniker?
Thank you, Council President Rupel. As discussed in the work session, the temporary appropriations for 2023 is on first reading this evening. This could go 2 readings, which we will get into a little bit of the detail. But if you do look, real quickly at the totals between 2022 and 2023, you do see an increase in those appropriations of around $350,000. What I wanted to keep in mind to you is with a timing difference between last year and this year, we actually have a 7th payroll in the first 3 months of 2023. Typically, we have 6 payrolls in that period. So part of that, a lot of that increase is related to that 7th payroll. Overall, we still have 26 payrolls throughout the year, but it's just really a timing thing. So that's part of the significant increase there. I'll save the rest for detail for our next council meeting, where I think we'll have a work session at 5:30 to go through the details, which you can also expect a final 2022 appropriations on the next agenda as well. That concludes my report, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes. What's a payroll approximately, each payroll?
Typically between $110,000 or $120,000, depending on if there's overtime or comp time pay downs or different things like that.
Very good, thank you.
Anything else? All right, Mr. Lally.
I don't have much to report today.
Nope, okay. You're good? Chief McAllister, do you have any formal report?
No formal report tonight. I'm open for any questions. Both the fire chief and I were just on an accident, so we're just getting back.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we're commenting right on 306 here.
Rear end accident?
All right, mayor's report.
Evening, Council President Rupel. Busy couple weeks since we met last. We had the Divine Word Ecumenical Service just last week or right before Thanksgiving. Wonderful service with many of a lot of representation from some of the other faith groups around town. Always a great night. As Mr. Finaro said, I'd like to thank the Garden Club for the decoration of City Hall and everything else they do for the decorations around holiday time around the city. Joe said it, but I will say it again. Thank you to the service department for their hard work out front here and around City Hall. I think the lights look absolutely terrific. Also, we'll thank Kiwanis for the use of their Ericsson boxes. And then as part of the lighting ceremony last week, we did join forces with the Kirtland football team, and thanks to the football moms for allowing us to kind of, our tree lighting was supposed to be on Wednesday, I guess it was, but we had some really high winds and some nasty temperatures and even some rain, I think. So I had asked one of the football moms if we could team up with them on Thursday night and reschedule our tree lighting, and so it worked out really well. The pep rally basically started here at City Hall with the tree lighting and then followed everyone over to the to the stadium. And, wished our Hornets off and, good luck for the Saturday game. I think probably everybody here watched at least some of the game, if not all of it. We were at the game. I cannot say how proud I am of this Kirtland football team. We always are, but really what that team did on Saturday was just nothing short of terrific and tenacious, and they never gave up to play. They played a great Marion local team, and to have had that score be 14-6, and really, I think what do we hold them to, about 137 yards of total offense, Eric? Nobody's come close to that this year with that team. They've been a buzzsaw. So anyhow, super proud of our players and our community, and obviously our coaching staff. Thanks to everybody that endured the power outage here over the last couple of days. It was pretty rough on some folks. I think from Saturday afternoon, I think the last power was restored in the Silver Fox development overnight, I think around 3 or 4 a.m. So that was tough for some folks, but we did open the community center yesterday. I want to thank a couple of our attendants that were made themselves available to go open the community center for, we opened it up for, I think, up to 9 hours, but I think after about 6 o'clock, enough of the power was restored around the city that the folks that were up there utilizing it, charging phones, oxygen, those kinds of things, were able to go home because their power was restored. So thanks to those attendants for acting quickly and making themselves available. What I do want to say in relation to the power outages is, between myself and Mr. Finaro and Chief Hutton and police, everybody working together, there's only so much we can do. The city does not have anything to do with restoring power. We do have a liaison from First Energy that we're very close with, that we, can call and text message, and we did that. I did that right from the game on Saturday afternoon, and she was actually on vacation but passed me off right to one of her coworkers that was covering for her that weekend. He called me right back and was giving me updates all the way through. And, the updates weren't necessarily what we wanted to hear, what some of our residents, were hoping to hear, especially with the cold temperatures. But nonetheless, we are at the mercy of, First Energy working on trying to restore a lot of power in some dangerous places. So, we cannot touch trees and limbs and things that come down and are touching wires. So, thanks to many of our residents for demonstrating a lot of patience during that time. Just quick, let's touch on the work session. It was short, but we did talk about how on the final appropriation amendment that we will likely see at least one plow truck, if not two, and some potential second police car for that final appropriation. But Lewis and I will be kind of scouring the numbers as they come in as November finishes up, and we look to see what our carryover balance ultimately is going to be, what we think it's going to be going into January. So that'll dictate some of what we're able to do, and keeping in mind all of the other things that we have to consider for 2023. But thanks to Mr. Smolik and the other committee members that held that committee meeting after the last of the Service Department committee meeting, to kind of have that discussion about capital needs within the Service Department, and they even got into police department stuff there. Last, but certainly, just last, this community received some heartbreaking news overnight on Thursday night. A 7-year-old little girl here in our community passed away, and I cannot express my deepest condolences for that family and what they're going through. It's unimaginable. What I do know is that this community is there for them. The city government will do whatever we can do to support the family and also support our police and fire that responded to that call. These men and women, sorry, but nobody signs up for this, right? And so they responded quickly and they did everything they could, but I just want to thank them, and I want to also thank Chief Hutton, who was there in the middle of the night and did what maybe other fire chiefs do. I don't know, but he stayed at that house until somebody was able to help cover for the to be able to get there and be at the house after the family had left to go to the hospital. So again, just people here go above and beyond. We see it all the time, whether it's police and the fire, and we see it in the service department and many of our other departments here in the city. So we live in a great town, and I just I can't say how sorry I am about what happened. So anyhow, with nothing further from me, I'm certainly open for questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you, Mayor. Moving on, standing committee reports. I don't think we have any reports for this evening. Correspondence, I did receive something. I think other members of council may have gotten an email copy. The notice to public officials from Aqua, Ohio. Do we have this on our website by chance, or should we? Basically, it's a notice to public officials that, go figure, prices never seem to go down. So the nuts and bolts of it is in December 2022, Aqua plans to apply to the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio to increase its overall rates for water service by 12.87%. Primary reason for the rate request is to recover the costs associated with Aqua's infrastructure improvements needed to maintain service reliability, fire protection, water quality, and compliance with federal and state regulations. Since the last rate request, an anticipated $61 million of additional capital improvements will be made in the areas of water treatment, plant improvements, replacement of aging water mains, valves, hydrants, in addition to capital improvements, operations and maintenance expenses that have increased substantially. This is kind of to help you understand what that actually means. The average residential water customer's bill for monthly usage of approximately 4,000 gallons is expected to increase by $7.42 per month, or 24 cents per day. The monthly flat rate bill is expected to increase by $5.41 per month, or 18 cents per day. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. And I don't know if this is something that goes on the website typically or not. I honestly just don't know the answer. So I don't know.
Typically, it hasn't been, but certainly we aren't opposed to it. It's good information, right?
Yeah.
Or bad information.
Yeah, I don't know, good or bad. Depending on,
Accurate information that's not great information.
but I guess for purposes of just for people that look at the website for information, it would be up there so they would know. So, all right. Public comments on matters not on tonight's agenda. Again, as usual, name, address.
Sharon Viscastil, 8415 North Locust. I just want to give credit where credit is due. Jim and I just recently joined the senior center about a week ago, and we immediately took advantage of the bus trip down to the Brown Stadium. Teresa and her staff have done a wonderful job. It was so much fun, smooth sailing, excellent food. I could not have enjoyed a bus trip more. It was really worth the time and money that we spent. Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. Anyone else? Old business, we have none. New business, public comments on agenda items of new business. We have 2 resolutions tonight. Anyone would like to come forward? Looks like a no. Resolution number 22-R-77, resolution adopting the updated Lake County Hazard Mitigation Plan for the city of Kirtland and declaring an emergency. Next item, ordinance number 22-O-78, an ordinance providing temporary appropriations for the 3-month period ending March 31st, 2023. Now we're down to council comments. Anyone on council have any comments this evening? Okay. Continuing concerns, last opportunity for the public to, all right, see shakes of the head, so I guess there's no continuing concerns. And finally down to adjournment, which is a reminder that just stay after so we can adopt, I think at least 2 of the committees, we can adopt the minutes from the, prior in the year. So looking for a motion on adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion by Councilman Smoak, seconded by Councilman Fenstermaker. All in favor?